Welcome back to Between Bells. Joining us now is Greg Migliori, who just recently was named editor-in-chief at Autoblog. Greg, congratulations to you.
Thank you. I'm very excited.
Okay, well, we're so happy to have you here at Cheddar, and what we want to know too is, I guess, what we can expect to see from Autoblog and from you two in this new role.
Sure. Well, I think this is a really important time for the auto industry. We're seeing so many new technologies, like new ways of mobility and transportation. Everything is on demand now. You know, cars can drive themselves. So we're pretty excited about that. And at Autoblog, you know, we really want to play a role in leading the conversation. You know, vehicles like, you know, the Tesla Model S, the Model X, these are all very, you know, at the top of mind for consumers. And basically at Autoblog, you know, through events like our Upshift, you know, we're trying to like take the conversation and advance it and show, you know, what could be next for the auto industry.
So how is Autoblog expanding its coverage to look at mobility through, you know, this broader lens while still maintaining its core base to your readers?
Yeah, absolutely. So we will always serve our readers who are enthusiasts, who are looking to buy a car. That's, you know, our bread and butter. But, you know, we're looking to cover more topics like Lyft. People love Tesla, things like that, sort of the mobility space where perhaps maybe car ownership isn't, you know, going to be necessarily what people do going forward. It's going to be this model where everything is on demand, where, you know, Uber, you know, those sort of business models are how a large segment of the population commutes and goes about their transportation needs.
Greg, we've seen at some of these major news organizations, they've moved their auto headquarters from Detroit now to Silicon Valley. I'm most recently thinking of the Wall Street Journal, for example. And so when you think about how you distribute and disperse, I guess, the personnel, the employees across the country, is Silicon Valley getting more of a focus? Is that where most of the focus is, or are you still largely focused in Detroit too?
Well, I think it's both, actually. Silicon Valley is very important, and we have writers and editors who can get there anytime. Obviously, it's a very connected society. So, you know, when we need to be there, we're there. And in Detroit, a lot of the traditional car companies are still working on that technology. Ford, General Motors, Chrysler, they're all actually leading the innovation in those sectors as well. So I think it's very important that we sort of have, you know, a dual footprint. You know, we're mobile, we're flexible, and in this connected age, we get where we need to be.
So Upshift 2017 has been announced. It's coming up. What can you tell us about this event and also the partnership with Techstars Mobility?
Yeah, great question. So Techstars is like a platform here in Detroit where companies can use it almost as like an incubator. They sort of let companies grow and they give them that infrastructure they need. So we're really happy to be partnering with them. And Upshift is coming up in October. This is a great event that we use to really drive the new conversation of technology in the vehicles. Lots of speakers we're going to have lined up this year. Nobody we can announce quite yet, but, you know, watch this space. We're really excited about it. We're going to have some really cool demonstrations where people can experience some of the technology themselves. We always like to do it in Detroit, which is important, our commitment to the Motor City, and we think it's going to be a great event.
Now, when you say speakers, do you mean the smart speakers, the voice-enabled speakers where you can ask the car to do something? What exactly do you mean by speakers?
Well, that would be great, and perhaps we'll have some of those, but I mean traditional speakers. You know, we're going to have a lot of very engaging and informative panels, some interesting keynotes address, and things like that.
Okay, so you already mentioned Tesla earlier, and 2 days ago, I believe Tuesday, teasing their Model Y vehicle now. What are you hearing about this highly anticipated vehicle, and when do you think we're going to actually see it on the roads?
Yeah, great question. So 2019, 2020 is the time frame for that. We're looking at a range of perhaps more than 200 miles on a charge. Tesla has been very cryptic. As you can see from that teaser, they're just showing basically a silhouette. We expect it to look like a Tesla. They have a pretty familiar design language. One of the complaints they got was some of their vehicles downplayed the grille. So as you can see a little bit from that teaser, it looks like they're going to try and bring back a traditional grille element on this electric car.
I would love a grill, because that's one thing I kind of miss on these electric cars is like you don't need a grill, but there's something just so nice about having that nice grill. Maybe it just takes me back to, you know, when it was all about having like a dope grill on your car.
Do you have a grill on your car?
I mean, all cars like have grills. I didn't like add a special grill, but you know, that was a thing to do.
Greg, what do you think about the grill? I mean, are we ever going to see those ever on an electric car?
I think so, actually. If you look at some of like the Fisker Karma from back a few years ago, there's still a design element. You know, they really make a statement. And to your points, it really is something that people see and they think, hey, this car looks good. I want to make a statement. You know, who cares if it's functional?
Yeah, it's almost even like a grill. I feel like is equal to like an exhaust pipe. You want to see them. It makes you feel like it's powerful. It's beautiful. So I'm voting for the grill to come back.
People do definitely like it. Greg, what else can we expect? I mean, I'm sure you're very excited about this role. Are there certain elements, certain strategic things you want to do to get it kicked off here as the new editor-in-chief?
Sure. Well, we have a great team in place. We've actually recently added some folks. We added a managing editor who is working at the Seattle Times, Greg Reza. We have a new green editor, senior editor, John Bell Snyder, who actually was a contributor to the site previously, and now he's coming on full-time in like a management role. So I'm really excited about our team. You know, again, enthusiasts, we're always going to be there for you. Car shoppers, we're always going to be there for you. We have a lot of tools if you want to, you know, make that purchasing decision. You can, you know, definitely do that on our site. And as we look to the future, you know, we have to serve readers who might use Lyft, they might use Maven, they might use Uber, they might not even own a car. We're definitely aware that that's where, you know, transportation is heading, and we want to be there for all kinds of drivers.
All right, so before we let you go, we just want to know if you've heard anything about Tesla over the Air update for the Model X.
So Tesla's been really good about basically flashing their cars. They can handle this technology, you know, the same way, you know, your phone would update over the air. A couple years ago, we had a Model S in our fleet, and they literally flashed it one day from Silicon Valley, and the car's autonomous technology kicked in. And we were able to test that technology literally overnight. So it was very cool. Specifics for this feature I'm not totally up on, but I think it's going to be the same pretty seamless setup.
Well, thank you so much, Greg Migliore, the editor-in-chief at Autoblog, for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, coming up, a Broadway Insider's picks to take home a Tony this weekend, so stick with us.